To this, how are you doing? Welcome to my channel. Hope you are great. Disclaimer: this video reflects my personal opinions and commentary. It is not intended to harass, harm, or defame any individual. Content is for discussions and educational purposes. So I came across a video of a white woman saying that racism is over, that racism died with Gen X, black people are the new racists. So I am asking, does it mean that the videos that I bring here on daily basis are AI or something? Because I am a media girl and I see what it's going on. It's kind of crazy that people will look you dead in the face and lie straight up through their teeth. Some is sickening on God, because we are looking for a way to end racism, and somebody is telling you that it has ended and that we are the new racism. Now let me tell you something: you cannot solve a problem if you do not identify the problem. The solution to a problem is on a problem. That is, if you are able to identify it. I think what we are seeing today, especially coming from this administration and the cohort, maybe we are the ones making them up, because some people can lie to tell you that we are the problem when they personally know that they are the real deal. They are the problem, and they have been the problem. And it is evil for you to see that something is wrong and say that it is right. But you know what? Miss me at all this, because nobody cares. Nobody wants to also be in community, or you are not even an ally because nobody trusts your allyship. Let's get into this video.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? I'm good. Look here. Y'all already know I got something for y'all to watch. Hold on. Let me show you.
Dear Black people, could you stop making videos that say, Dear white people, if you don't have a problem with people that look like me, would you be my friend? Racism died with Gen X. As a widespread issue, that was boomers. It died with Gen X. Most of us are grandparents now, and apparently you didn't even notice. Like, we put in the work. We stopped judging people by the color of their skin, and you didn't even notice. But now we feel your judgment all the time, and we're tired of walking on eggshells, because we know there's a very good chance that you probably have a problem with our skin color, and because you assume that we're racist while you're being racist. It died down so much that now youth, a lot of white youth, uses the N-bomb. I can't imagine doing that. I can't. It hurts me, but they use it casually. It's not because they're racist. Nope. It's because it's a huge part of pop culture, and it has been for 30 years, over 30 years, since hip-hop went mainstream, since gangster rap went mainstream, and the word was everywhere. And kids today are baffled by racism. They think it's so stupid that it's laughable. Yet there's a word that is ubiquitous in pop culture that a large percentage of the population just isn't permitted to use. They don't understand that. They think it's ridiculous, so they rebel against it, as kids do when they don't understand something and they see it as ridiculous and dumb. You can feel how you feel about that. I feel how I feel about it. I don't like it at all. I taught my kids to never say that word because it was a word that was created for hate. But the word has changed, I guess. I can't change the way I view it, but for them it's changed. Dear Black people, oh, I love you. I love your culture. I love your swagger. I love your hair. I love how you can speak with roundness while I speak in squares and triangles. But I also love my culture, and I love my hair, and I love my skin, and I love your skin, and I love our differences and our commonalities. And it's time to heal. If you don't focus on healing how you view white people, and then how you view yourselves in relation to white people, because the superiority complex only ever masks an inferiority complex, then we're going to be doing a civil rights movement for white people in like 20, 30 years. And I know some of you would like that. But that just says that you're the racist now because white people aren't the racists anymore. And I'm not saying there isn't a single white person who's racist. There's assholes in every group and every color. But the majority of us left that with our parents or grandparents. It doesn't even make sense to us. And we don't need to feel guilty about what our ancestors did because we're the ones that fixed it. It's over now. Unless you want to perpetuate it. Dear Black people.
So she said the youth are saying it. She said she taught her children that it was wrong because it's hatred. So what do the rest of the parents tell their kids? Look at her. People that look like me. Everybody ain't our friends. We can't keep inviting people to the cookout. We cannot. When are we going to learn to be together? Stick together. Be unified. We are by ourselves. And if y'all ain't figured that thing out yet, I don't even know what to tell you. It's nobody for us but the Most High. That's it. The Most High is the only thing we got. And until we go back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, it ain't gonna get no better. We gotta do better, y'all. Get back in the Word. I love y'all. Bye.
Shit. Because right now our society is collapsing. Absolutely true of society in the United States. But globally, our habitat, the place we all live and depend on for our survival, is eroding. We're living in a decaying habitat because a few thousand people are willing to risk billions, are willing to risk the rest of the planet. And so our society is in decay. And there is still not an insignificant number of white folks who are more concerned with preserving their privilege in a decaying society than to preserve the society itself. Some of my colleagues in the crit space have called white supremacy a civil religion in the United States. And the dynamic I just described to you is one of the most emblematic illustrations for me in the present moment. That you would think any other species, if the habitat we all depend on were eroding, was decaying, that would be our collective number one priority, because we have a self-preservation instinct that's supposed to override all of our other instincts. So if there is a litany, a voluminous amount of evidence suggesting that the habitat we depend on for survival is decaying, you'd think the overwhelming majority of us, certainly the people in charge, certainly the people we've chosen to lead us, certainly the people we've made influential via their wealth or fame, that these people's priority would be the preservation of the species. Nope. Nope. Whiteness is such a drug. White supremacy, period. Because if this were true, if the menfolk were interested in preserving the species, they'd look around and say, hey, we've been in charge the last 300-400 years and it's been nothing but war and destruction, and now the habitat's decaying. Perhaps we should let someone else try. Perhaps we're not the best at this. We should take a break, regroup, let somebody else get a shot. But again, so supremacy at large is such a fucking shit show that those operating with a supremacist ideology are more concerned, are more preoccupied by preserving their place in the decaying society than they are in their own self-preservation, in the preservation of the species. What's the point of being on top of if the whole thing, the entire species? There are white folks who are spending their time, there are men spending their time figuring out how to disempower someone else also in the collapsing society, and are using more of their time to do that than to stop the society from decaying. I don't know, child. Maybe so the ashes will know that they won.
Because white women are dangerous, and white women have always been dangerous. Non-white women cannot assume that a white woman is an ally. In the same way that us women cannot assume that a man is an ally and that he's a safe person, women of color have never been able to assume that we are an ally. We have shown historically that we are an ally when it benefits us and we need the numbers. Does this necessarily apply to you? Absolutely not. I don't know you. But if you take offense to this and you don't understand why I said it, or you don't understand the historical context, then that's on you. Beyond just not being an ally, white women have been dangerous historically because they have got black men killed. Black men have been lynched simply by a woman being uncomfortable, the black man around her. White women are dangerous because they refuse to learn. They refuse to accept and acknowledge their internal biases and their internal prejudices and their racism. An example of this just recently, actually going on still, I'm going to name names. There's a white woman on here that has a pretty big platform who said data centers should be put in the bad communities and leave the good communities' water alone, and specifically pointed out Flint. Here we are talking about Michigan again. Now, when she was called out about how that was racism, she didn't say, oh, I'm wrong. I need to look into this. I need to learn about this brand of racism and why I've internalized it so much and why I would think that it's okay. She blocked people. She cried about it. She's made multiple apology videos without an apology. Been unwilling to learn. White women and their unwillingness to learn makes them dangerous. And it's important that we understand that and recognize it, and we acknowledge that it lives inside of us. There is systemic racism and it's deep down inside of us, and we need to actively combat it. Turning our heads and shutting our eyes is not going to get us anywhere. White women are dangerous, and we need to accept that so that we can change it.
White people hate other white people. And this is the thing that white supremacists just cannot comprehend. You know, they wrap themselves in this fantastic mythos of uniting the white race, but then they come to find out that the person standing next to them is Jewish. Or the woman that they had a crush on for this long actually has a black boyfriend. Now she's a mud shark. Or they find out that those white people, that family is actually poorer than them. Or they find out that they got blue hair and now they're a fucking liberal Democrat. There's always ways to eat the group from the inside out. And that's why when you base your politics around racial purity, you will always end up being alone. Because you can always find a way to shave extra people off the group. There's this dude who's been following me for like 8 months now. And he's a white supremacist. And occasionally he'll fucking like, he'll comment slurs or whatever in my DMs. Or he'll make like weird like LARPy fucking white supremacist quotes in my comment section. And everybody just completely ignores him. And he's just completely fucking alone. And the funny thing is that like there are like 10,000 active white supremacist policies that are being enacted in our country right now. How many of those do you think he's actively benefiting from? None. He's entirely alone. In fact, capitalists are using this false identity that they have created, this whiteness, this purity, to take advantage of his race by pushing down on other races. They brainwashed him into thinking that he is like the Ubermensch. The Ubermensch is commenting on a TikTok video of a black dude who makes political videos. Does that make sense to you? This nigga has no soapbox to stand on. And I found like his Facebook and like his YouTube and shit like that. I'm not gonna dox him because he's like genuinely like mentally unwell. Like he goes on crazy fucking screeds on YouTube. It's very awesome. And you like, I guess he makes metal music. That it's really interesting to me, like the cross section between like white supremacy and metal. I'm not saying that like all metalheads are like raging racists, but there is a very prominent like white supremacist group in the metal scene. In, you know, this just growing up black, I've experienced that. The thing is, it's like if it were any other thing, it would be sad to see somebody this lonely, crying out for help, reaching out for a community. But the only community he can find are black people that he hates. So he reaches out to them. He tries to build a nemesis relationship with another creator on the internet, but the other creator just ignores him. So what do you where is your community, my friend? And where are the benefits therein? That's my question for white supremacy, would be white supremacy.
One thing that I've noticed about racism is that a lot of white people get far angrier at being called racist than they do at seeing racism happening right in front of them, because somebody can describe experiencing racism and the reaction is often, I need more context. Are you sure that's what they meant? Maybe they misunderstood. Everything is racist nowadays. But call a white person racist and suddenly people get emotional, offended, defensive, furious, writing essays, demanding apologies, acting like they're the victim now. And I think the reason that happens is because a lot of white people see racism as evil monsters in a white herd. So instead of seeing racism as something that they can unconsciously participate in, benefit from, excuse or normalize, they treat the accusation itself like some sort of unforgivable character assassination, which is why conversations about racism become so impossible sometimes. Because the truth is, white people are more committed to protecting their self-image than they are to listening to what minorities are actually trying to explain.
In this video, there are some people that you should never think they are your ally. There are some people you should never try to be in community with, because they have proven to you times without number that you cannot be in community with them. Now, let me tell us something. I hate it when people lie straight up right in my face, because I am a media girl and I bring videos here on daily basis about what is going on and about how my people are being treated. And it is just a huge insult or a blow on my face that somebody is actually out there telling black people to get over it, that there is no more racism and that racism is all over. What do you actually mean? The ones that I bring here on daily basis are bookish people. Man, there are some things I don't like seeing because it just ruins your day. Your day will just be ruined because some people think they are just gonna keep lying. They will keep lying. Now, I am going to say this. Black people, enough of bringing people to cook out. You are all you've got. And the moment some of us take this serious, the earlier for us. Some people know it that you are all you've got, but some people do not also know how to create boundaries. There are some people you do not bring into your community, or some people you shouldn't let in. Why? Because they do not deserve to be part of you. Why? Because they do not value you. They do not respect you. They do not care about you. Some people can never be ally. And you can actually see it right in their faces that they do not also intend to be ally. They just go around, tossing around like they are, I am for you. When sincerely speaking, they are never for you. How they have come straight up to tell us all the things that she pewed. Some of them think that black people are not learned, or black people are not seeing what is going on, or that we are media illiterate, like we are not literate or something, and the rest of it. We see everything going on politically and otherwise, politically and more. We see all of it, and we know where you stand. We know where you belong. And yes, it will actually be amazing if you cater for only your community. We do not want people that will say that I care about you, but in real sense, they do not care about you. That is hypocrisy. You are a hypocrite. When you say I am here for you, but sincerely speaking, you are not here for me. You are a liar. And liars, my mom will say, all liars go to hell. Enough of all this. Please, bye for now.